Okay, guys, we are here on a map that I love, Lost City. And even though, there's been a fair number of battles that weren't very pleasant, on the other hand, there's been tons of battles that have been a whole lot of fun. And this is one of them. This is defending a position on a reverse slope. And, I'll go in circles as long as it takes to win the battle. And on this side of the map, we were facing Platoon 1 over there from a clan called Sham. I'm not sure what that stands for. Is that she's having a moment? One of the guys I've seen before, I think on numerous occasions, Brad Blankenship there. I think I've been up against him or had him on my team many times. Now, I always, if at all possible, I always platoon with an arty and a medium, sometimes a TD heavy tank. It's been hard for me to decide what is the optimal solution to have a light tank with an arty player and the third guy. Sometimes it works out perfectly, and this is one of those occasions. Now, this position that we're defending, we've got a Hellcat, we've got an M10 RBFM. Now, he moved off at a later stage in the battle, but the fact is, if we turn around the camera here and point it the other way, we can defend this reverse slope. I would say very easily in a public match because there's scatter sometimes on both sides, definitely on the other side in this case, and they don't have the balls to push through and win it that way, right? Instead it's a standoff, and the problem for them is that they're going to get hit by arty over and over again because this area doesn't have a whole lot of cover. It has some cover against artillery, and we're going to hit the space bar here and run it at regular speed, and I'll leave the fixed camera off in this case so that you guys can see. It'll be a bit more stable. So I do my first pass there, nothing. And unfortunately, this fellow in the Leo is making a classic error, and I hate to see that. So there's the first guy. That's Mr. Ship there. And the Leo is going forward. Now there's two artillery on the other side in this game, and I'm running XVM, so Nubertus there. That sounds like a medicine for old people. So the Leo is, he's just asking to die, and the fatal flaw is he's fighting too far forward because he should be fighting this position, right? And dancing like crazy, and he's already gone. The S51 took him out, so we've lost a tier 7 medium. But I'm not going to go any further because I want the TDs behind me to be able to get targets, and the Leo should have just stayed back. And on the other flank, you can see there's a standoff there. Are we going to lose our machine gun? The tier 7 guy with the 8-round clip? We'll see. I consider right now at this moment that this position is they can't drive us out of here. They don't have enough, right? This is the mantra: fire teams win and scatterers die. So ideally, they would have essentially almost half the team, right, supporting this push if they wish to push, right? That's another factor here. We're defending, right? And the defense is stronger than the attack in many, many, many cases at all tiers. And I want to say something about what I'm doing here. Okay, this is really awkward, and Nubertus killed that T-34 later, and I was sort of happy because he's not moving around anymore, and I can do my loops. Right? You always try not to lose velocity. You try to keep up your speed because of the arty, right? So I'm seen again, and that means I go downhill at high speed and then climb. The A20, I play the Type 64 a lot on my other account. It definitely has a better turning ability, hull traverse. But on the other hand, so thank you, Nubertus. Now I can drive around without crashing into that guy. So Furry just hit one of the Skodas there, right? Backup team. Yeah, the M10 moved off, but we still got the Hellcat. So Newbert has just missed me again. I believe that was his shell. Steep trajectory. And there's another shell. That was pretty close. Nice try. And you know, I've said in many of my videos in the past that when I get hit by Artie, I don't get too upset because a lot of there's a very important moment. The third guy in the platoon was just seen climbing there in the distance. But I'll be honest, at this stage they should completely back off and do something else, right? Because they don't have. You know, I know this is not a tank company. This is not a stronghold battle or clan wars, but it's not going to work. You know, I've been in this situation many, many times, and they just can't do it. So try something else, right? Completely pull out. And I know people like to get in their damage. They get a little impatient, but my attitude always is, you know, the only thing that matters to me is the victory. So, you know, I'm willing to change the plan, right, if necessary. But our plan here is very straightforward, right? It's just defend. And I don't like the fact that the A-20 drifts like crazy here. And there's, I believe, New Resist just landed another shell near me. And another thing, you know, I don't know if he has other targets at this point, but I believe he moved off to somebody else. And I'll show you, because I made a decision based on the belief that he wasn't shooting at me anymore, right? I'm watching the shells land to make sure, you know, is the Artie still trying to get me, right? So that whole force ahead of us here, it's 4 guys, right? And, oh, I hit the TOG, no damage. And that Leo there could pop me from with his massive there. The SU-100Y just shut up, and you know that thing is that's a static warfare vehicle, and you know, driving forward is really problematic for him. So now, because I wasn't seen that time. Wow. Okay, watch to see the absence of shells. I think Nubertus has changed his mind about trying to hit me. And he's going for somebody else. And I still got my crew. Oh, the Hellcat's moving to a different spot. Well, that might work. Okay, here, this is the thing. No Nubertus shells, so I didn't use my repair kit. Right? You can see all the blotches on the ground from him trying to hit me. And I will get going. Type 64 I mentioned earlier. The A-20 definitely has slightly better acceleration. It's still not very good. Yeah, he's too close now. Sorry, dude, but that's a terrible spot to be in. And that P-43, he'd had 9 lives there. He was around for a long time. And it looks like the battle is finally heading our way here. I don't know if those guys platoon a lot over there, but you know, the question is, what's the ideal platoon? And you know, in my case, you know, I have no doubts that you know, from the point of view of fun and the point of view of you know, a group that is able to be very effective, right? Now, Furry, obviously, in the TD there, he can't drive around the battlefield, so that is a flaw, right? You want the mobility, right? The Artie doesn't have that problem because he can shoot the map, and this battle's over, as you can see, and you know, it's the tragedy of the public match in terms of the inability to, oh, let's see if I can shoot somebody here. My little pop gun. Boom. 56 damage. Cool. And you know, my spotting damage in this battle is not anything to write home about. Yeah, so the lesson of this battle is change the plan when you're up against something that is. And here's another thing. I mean, I don't know if he's running XVM, but it's not only that. Even if you're not running XVM, the moment you see a guy in a light tank platoon with an arty, um, you got to ask the question: is this going to work? And certain locations on the map are very defensible. Other locations are not. I should mention here. I'll just draw on the screen here. In this area, or this area that it just circled, right? I've been in battles where the team doesn't let me push forward and determine what's coming, and they just keep advancing without paying attention to the fact that I've detected a superior force. And when that happens, it's always bad, unless you've got extremely skilled players who can outdamage what you've encountered. And the proper thing to do is not to approach any closer and fall back and let the TDs that are usually hiding in the back support your battle. But the mediums that I'm talking about, they go too far forward. The TDs have no shots. They're outnumbered. They get wiped out, and it's game over. So that's another scenario on this map that unfortunately I've seen many, many times, that the fire team is split between vehicles that have gone too far, vehicles that stayed back, and you cannot ask TDs to drive around the battlefield unless it's safe. And in that situation, it's definitely not safe, especially if there's a couple of arties who will just, the moment they're detected, will take them out. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to make some more. I haven't made any during the pandemic, and I'm sort of trying to get back into it. So I hope I wasn't too rusty, and see you guys later.